Do plumbers make a lot of money? That's what this video is about. You know, is it worth it? I've been a plumber for more than 20 years, so I can talk about it. I've been, just want to make sure this thing's on. I've been self-employed and I've been employed. So I've got some type of talking knowledge when it comes to this. How much is your average plumber earning? I just Googled it before I started this video and it's 45,000 in the UK. They say that some self-employed tradespeople can reach up to 64,000. So again, it's just a ballpark figure. It doesn't mean that it's right. It's just numbers to be able to reference things to. So, from my personal opinion, do plumbers make a lot of money? Yeah. Plumbing is expensive. It's not something which comes at a light cost. If people know what they're doing, they're going to charge for their time. Sometimes the older the plumber gets, the more he wants for his time, because you have to understand you've got less time to do the things what you are going to do. You know, it's just not possible to do hard, aching labor when it comes to being a plumber, like doing that physical work when you're older. You've got to do the easier jobs because the strenuousness on your body, you're not able to do it. Do you understand what I mean? So that is one given factor, which I will say that I've seen from the older generation of plumbers is doing the little odds and sods types of jobs, might be changing taps, doing the small jobs, not doing bathroom refits and doing all that type of stuff. They're not doing all that stuff. They're doing the ones what keep you plodding on. That's what it's called, the jobs which keep you ticking over. So a couple of jobs there, couple of jobs there. It's nice and sweet. For some of the people who are self-employed, yeah, there's definitely a bag to chase when you're going out there, but because you're chasing the bag, yeah, it doesn't mean that you're going to get it. Do you get what I mean? And there's only a small minority that are in this like higher tax bracket, innit? So they're making more money anyway. There's only a small minority. So most of the people are getting under the threshold. Do you get it? And just a little bit below. Again, which is okay for some people, but being able to mix the both, which I think is the best thing to be able to do. So be employed and get a standard basic rate, but also go out there and do your self-employed jobs, register your little company if you have to, get yourself a phone and start doing jobs, get some public liability insurance on the way there. And then you can start just doing jobs, operating like a company, register your company on Company House. It's quite easy to do, which I think most people can see the steps online to do. But the problems people face is obviously sometimes when you're in full-time employment as a plumber or something, you're used to working in buildings or dwellings like that. You don't have any idea of what it's like to work inside people's properties, innit? Like you don't work in there, innit? So the setup is just the same. There's taps, there's basins, there's whatever, but you're not familiar with it. So therefore it might feel like it's out of your comfort. So that's why you sometimes get some tradespeople who just work at places like that and that just do that type of thing, which is okay. Again, there is more than enough work to go around for everybody. That's for sure. For sure, for sure. I've known that as a plumber while doing both, you know, doing little private jobs. I get a lot of jobs through my social media as well. And people contact me through the phone number, which I have online on my business Google account and stuff like that. So I think it's quite easy for me to be able to sometimes get customers and show customers this is what I do as a plumber. So I would say it's even, but I'll just say that it's not easy to start off. When people think that, oh, I'm going to jump into plumbing, oh, I'm going to make money straight away. It just doesn't really happen like that for everybody. And people start off on a lower end than they start off on a higher end. And the amount of people that get to the higher end are very, it's like a handful of people, seriously. Like, you know, I've been around many a plumbers, and as men or guys or whatever, people want to brag about what they got in it. They want to brag about how much money they make. When I hear about how much money people make now, today, to what you used to make before, like, yeah, I was making that years ago. Was you? And then it makes you think, oh, how much money are you getting? If you're a pocket watcher, but you know, like this whole trade thing, there's loads of ways how people be making extra money. They make extra money on fittings, they make extra money on jobs, overpricing stuff, all types of things is where people are actually making their little, slide to the side money. And that's what it is at the end of the day. It's not always the lump sum, what you get off of it. And I think plumbers have realized that, like if you get a good deal with a wholesalers, you're able to make a little bit extra on maybe something you're selling to your client or your customer. Or if you've got a direct link with someone, you're able to get things in large amounts. Therefore, you're paying less money for it. These things make sense. Like if you can get loads of copper, you could buy it in massive bundles. And you can get it for a cheap price, but you might have to put it down. You don't need it all for this one job. Over the year, you're going to use it up, and you can cost and charge people for that bit of copper. Again, you're going to make money, innit? So, and obviously scrapping copper, you're going to make money as well as a plumber. I've made quite a few £1,000s every year when it comes to scrapping copper. I've always realized that, like when someone asks me to take out a tap, right, there's money to be made on the job, and there's also money to be made when I take the scrap. It's not going to be everything like straight away. I might have to do 15 or 20 taps before it's even worth picking up the bucket and even thinking about going down to the scrapyard. You get it? Because the petrol might not be worth it. All these types of things I'm calculating while I'm doing what I'm doing. So I know that if there's not, someone told me this good saying, if there's not a jug in it, it's not worth doing. So if there's not a little jingle in it or a little shake in it, it's not worth doing. And I think that was a plumber who told me that. So I thought, oh, okay, cool. I get your vibe, innit? So if there's not nothing in it for you, it's not really much point in doing it, innit? And I think sometimes that's how some of us view stuff. Not all of us, I've got to say. This is only what I'm going off of, like plumbers who I know and people and conversations who I've had with people. People always wonder why new people not get into the industry and all that. It's hard because it's hard for anyone else to make it in the industry. Full stop. You got bigger companies, you got smaller handyman companies who are pushing out and taking bits of work which could possibly fall into just a plumber's work, but this handyman is doing it, innit? And again, there's enough work for everybody out there. I don't think that there'll be not enough work because they're always constantly building homes all the time. So you're going to get work. It's just how you put yourself out there. But it's just this idea of like, you're going to be making loads and loads of money. Again, I know a lot of people who are in the trade wouldn't like to tell how much money they make, but believe me, if they were making that much money, the retirement and giving this up would be sooner. It's not because like I'm doing it just because I do it. You do something because you have passion, you enjoy it, but you don't want to do it forever because you know it doesn't last forever, innit? Like you can't get up and keep doing those strenuous days, late nights, early mornings for 20, 30 years. That's crazy. You got to wind down at some point, innit? You got to say, no, I'm not doing this on the tool stuff at the moment. I want to move away from it because I want to relax. I've had my 25 years on the tools, or your 30 years on the tools. And some people are still on the tools. Congrats to them. But if you want to move away from it and have a more peaceful life, like it's your decision what you do when it comes to your plumbing journey. And whatever you do, just think about it, innit? Because it's time what you spend like becoming a plumber, and you want to make sure that you've got something at the end of it. So it's not always about just the money what you make at the beginning. It's the end roll as well. Because when you retire and stuff, what are you going to do? You got to have something to do. You got to have some type of income as well. You can't just live off of those plumbing jobs you've done before, which you charged a lot of money for, but you didn't save any money from. But yeah, these are things which I've spoken with other plumbers about, like savings and stuff like that, which is an important conversation to have as well. But if we're talking about, is it worth it becoming a plumber? The answer is yes, but the limitations of actually making it and actually being a high paid plumber is very slim. But I wouldn't say just because I've told this in a video is to put you off from doing it. No, you should do it because you might be the person to be able to make it, because being resilient as a plumber and learning makes you a better plumber for sure. And if you can learn and pick up on your own traits and rectify them and make them better, you'll become a better plumber. And that equals you to having more value in all angles of being a plumber. So hope this was some food for thought when it comes to people thinking about getting into the trade, because I know that is a big subject. People say, oh yeah, do you know, is it worth it? Are you making money? Again, I told you the money stats. That's not correct, obviously, to the T. People are making a way more money than that. And I'm sure most of us have made a lot more money than that. That wasn't right. If somebody said that about any figures about what I've seen in my lifetime, and I would say that's not right. To be at the end of the day, it's more. Of course, it's more. But I just wanted people to understand that there's not a lot of people that even get to that point, and getting to that point takes a lot of determination and money and late nights and worrying and all of the type of stuff which comes with success at some point. So I hope you like, share and subscribe, and tell someone about this video who's thinking about getting into plumbing. Not to be deterred. If that's your dream and that's what you want to do, chase your dream. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You will find a way to work it out, because that's what I done. Let's get it.